So you might even argue that, this was probably a key support level right in there. Higher highs and higher lows defines a bull. We rallied up, with the key reversal bar. We were kind of flirting around here. And boom, these lows were taken out yesterday on that drubbing. Now that that structure has been broken, now I think is actually the time, if you are so short inclined, there is the reload zone. I would actually think if this actually is a top, could we actually get a scenario that develops like this, that actually might set up a pretty interesting trade. We actually did fire an outside downside key reversal here from the sort of initial sort of punch in the nose that we took about a week or so ago. Then that actually did confirm yesterday. The only issue here, of course, is you can see this thing is just, you could drive a truck through these gaps. So they really should be filled in. And you might even find that, maybe the Apple and Amazon numbers are relatively okay. And you actually get a substantial rally in the market back up top. I mean, I suppose if you wanted to just trade the key reversal bar, fine. I think probably the smarter way to go would be to acknowledge that signal and then just simply draw your reload zones. I mean, I had made a reference that somebody on the site was talking recently about making sure that the previous bullish structure in markets is broken before you think going short. So you might even argue that, this was probably a key support level right in there. So, higher highs and higher lows defines a bull. We rallied up, with the key reversal bar. We were kind of flirting around here. And boom, these lows were taken out yesterday on that drubbing. Now that that structure has been broken, now I think is actually the time, if you are so short inclined, there is the reload zone. And of course, these are all these crazy ass gaps up here. I would actually think if this actually is a top, could we actually get a scenario that develops like this, that actually might set up a pretty interesting trade. So this could take a week or two to develop. And of course, it's all entirely predicated if we have Amazon and Apple report numbers and they gap violently lower. Well, this thing just ain't going to look back. And if that jobs number comes in totally unexpected, this thing just ain't going to come back. And if we do just happen to crank straight down, maybe come back and fill in these gaps, that'll actually probably set up a half decent long entry, especially off of this gap right there. So you might actually see that kind of scenario happen. Interesting to do like a 38.2 off of here. Where does that come in? So against these lows. And actually, that would actually be kind of what I think a lot of sort of talking heads in the marketplace are kind of hoping that this is the scenario for August, which would set up some sort of basing for September. And then we get a rally back up top into the end of the year. And our rule, and I think it's a good rule to just keep in mind at any given point in time. You should always just be thinking in the back of your mind 38.2 retracements. Any time, any market, anywhere, these things can pop up when you least expect them. Notice this rally peak from here to here, bang, right back down to 38.2. In fact, you could probably even do it a couple times, right? Bang into 38.2. Just be cognizant. In fact, actually, when you get these kind of moves up and we don't come back into 38.2 and then we turn around and make a higher high, well, that scares the hell out of me, because then that means the next 38.2 pullback that we should have is going to be painful. It's going to be even a bigger one. So anyway, point here is I think we're in kind of like no man's land right now. Very dangerous. If we can get a rally back up top here and start seeing signs of failure, then I think short setups actually make a lot of sense. If we get the pullback back into support, and probably if we throw on things like moving averages, this is a daily chart. You can see the 200 period moving average is the only thing that's really. So you can see 30 SMA sort of stopped the slide here first thing this morning, and that was the 200 SMA. On the like 4-hour ES chart. I think I was showing you that earlier. That was this tag, right? So this is one of the main reasons why I really like using the 200 SMA and the 30 SMA is that the 30 SMA on the daily chart will look almost exactly like the 200 SMA on the 4-hour chart. You can see this is the 4-hour chart, the moving average sandwich that we're trapped in. 13 EMA should act as short-term resistance. I doubt we go up through, probably what they're going to carve out here. It looks to me like this might be like head and shoulders, right? So there to there. So we head up into there, then we pull back there. And then, of course, if the jobs numbers, if Amazon and Apple's earnings are respectable, then, oh boy, that's going to set up this inverted head and shoulders. Should take us low up to the neckline, and then clone that. You get something like that. And, probably if we do things like down trend lines off of the peak, so there to there, that'll be up into that window. Notice there's a gap right there, so that makes sense. And then if we do things like reload zones, we could probably, maybe just do a new one. So we'll go there all the way back up top and then do an RLZ. And, well, what a surprise. Talk about confluence of levels, eh? Then we could probably even do like a Foggenbaum. I don't know where this shoulder is going to come in, but you can sort of keep an eye on that and draw that appropriately. And there's 2.618. So you got Mountain Man 2.618, got the inverted head and shoulders, you got the price gap, you got the trend line. If there ever was this is not a bad area to hunt a trade location. Well, I don't think this is it, but a big circle right up here. If I was thinking trade location to get short, maybe even hunt some short ideas, I think that would be it right up there. Not right here. That's not a very good trade location. That's sort of what I see happening in the stock market here.